Hey guys, PigBenis here. How's everybody doing? Hope you're doing great. Global and hoffed here in Arcadia, Windy Isles, which I like to call Star Island. And yeah, we're just gonna hang out here on Arcadia, try to get back to the basics. We're gonna pick up all our claims and everything in this video, and probably at the end we'll tally everything up. Hopefully we'll have a decent run. Lately it's been pretty terrible. So, we'll see. E-FS with a level 7, I believe, today, so, yeah. We'll try to get some gas here, some Winrex, maybe some Star Particle, who knows. That's some Vorn right there. But, just want to ask you guys, what would you really like to see? I know, I'm going to try to answer a couple questions that I received, recently in this video here, and then later on, we'll talk about the current state of mining, which I have many opinions about. Not all necessarily bad, and in fact, you know, well, we'll get to that. But I know one of you had asked me about areas, resources, and revivals, because I mentioned it briefly in a video. 1 or 2 videos ago, and basically how it works, how resources spawn is within a certain area. Like you can take a look at 8coin where we're at right now, so Windy Isles, these 2 sections. The island that I'm on now will spawn a different set of resources than the isle below us, because they're in different revival sections. Actually, that may not be true. That may not be true. But they are different land areas. So, typically it's either a revival area or a land area. It spawns different things. Now, the maps are broken up into servers. So, if you, say, are in the Chinook server, let's talk about Cali real quick. If you're in the Chinook server, or you're here in Arcadia and 8coin, there's going to be a bunch of resources that you'll be able to find all throughout the server in all these different little land areas. Like if you're in Chinook, you're at Gaia's, you're going to find gas. If you're down at Mourner's Mark, or whatever that LA is, and on the southeastern side of the server, the complete opposite side of the server, you'll still find gas, you know. It's one of those things you'll find in Chinook. Well, here, well, I'm not too sure anymore what the common ore around here would be, but you'll see different common ores. I could go to the isle below this and probably find Vorn. I know I could go to the section 2 areas below where I'm at now and find Vorn and Star Particle and Quill. I could also find Quill, you know, the area to the east of me as well. So, but each of these sections is unique in what it spawns, as far as a basket of resources. So it could either be a revival area or a land area. Obviously, if I'm not in a land area, if I'm in, say, Moshane's Legacy, there's some Megan, that's cool. If I'm at Moshane's Legacy here on Arcadia, that whole revival area, once you go outside of those boundaries of a revival, you will pretty much go into a different set of ores and matters or resources. So, so that's what I mean basically by area resources. So it changes pretty close to where the revival points are. So hopefully that answers that question. It's much easier to look at a map. I know everybody, you know, that had purchased the Entropia mining guide, it's broken down that way, and it's pretty darn accurate as far as when their resource areas stop and start. So, yeah, that's that. So Arcadia, a lot of the resources have shot back up in markup, which we kind of expected, and I really wanted to get here like a week and a half ago, but something kind of came up in game, and it obviously worked and stuff, and you know, you guys heard enough of that, but that I kind of had to stay on Calypso for a while, and a lot of the prize winners were were actually on Calypso, other than one. One was here, so I kind of had to swing back here on Arcadia and then go back to Calypso. Now I'm back here, and hopefully I'll be here for hopefully a couple weeks. I don't really like to travel that much in game anymore because it takes time, you know, from Arcadia to Calypso. It takes like 40-45 minutes, and my playtime is so limited right now that I would rather be dropping probes than traveling from planet to planet. So hopefully I won't have to go back to Cali or Rocktropia soon. But you know, things change, and well, you gotta do what you gotta do, right? So yeah, the Arcadian markups right now is looking really good. A lot of stuff rebounded really nicely, such as Quill Sap. Hydrogen Steam is pretty much back in its glory days, 144, 150%. Quill Sap is, you know, hitting like 136%. So also too is that there's not a lot of volume being put up on auction right now, and it's kind of a perfect scenario for a miner to be at, because in a lot of times on the auction there may not be a resource available to a crafter, so you as a miner get to set your price, and that's what really drives the market value of some of these ores and end matters. Unlike Calypso, where it's a ton of other people that you're kind of trying to compete with to get your ped the fastest, you know, it's not really the way you should be marketing your ores. There's some gas right there. You shouldn't really be marketing your ores like that, but a lot of people do. So, but here, you know, if there's no star particles on, as you saw, I just got a little bit, or if there's no gas, then I will definitely set up my markup a little bit more than normal, depending on what it is. You know, and also take into consideration different sales, you know, the volume of the resources on that planet that day, as far as, you know, selling goes and stuff. I just want to take a look at the market. 115, 116 for star. So it's getting there. I mean, it had really fallen down quite a bit. I know there's none on auction right now, star, but yeah. So I mean, with the star particles, I'll probably throw it up, you know, 125%. See if it'll sell. Especially if I don't get much more than a couple ped worth. Hopefully, I'll get a decent amount for this, but. So back to my original question that I kind of like ADD'd all over the place here is like, I want to know would you guys prefer longer videos, you know, such as like my earlier videos, where they're a little bit more informative and a little less fun. I mean, obviously I like to keep them fun. For this video's sake, I haven't had a lot of time in the last week to put out new content, so I'm trying to get this out on, you know, days that I typically don't put videos out, which is like Saturday, Sunday. But would you guys, well, first off, would you prefer longer videos or shorter videos? I know for me, a 10-minute video is almost a perfect size because it doesn't take that long for YouTube to get its act together and put it where it has to be. Whereas like a 20-30 minute video, it takes YouTube anywhere from 4 to 6 hours to throw up. So, good hit rate tonight, by the way. I should mention that. We're doing alright. It's nothing awesome, but we continue this path and we will do okay. So, yeah. The 10-minute videos, you know, I've been doing a lot on, I think it was FOMA recently. Well, obviously, you have FOMA and then Hell. You know, they're shorter, they're little burst videos, I like to call them, pretty much, you know, just to get a little content out there. Primarily version updates. I like to cover the version updates. I think it really helps people out. I know a couple of people have stopped me in games, said that they like when I do the content updates or the version updates because it makes them more aware as to what is going on. Because not a lot of people will actually sit there and go through the patch notes. I do the same thing for PlanetSide too. I will sit there and, you know, my brother would tell me, oh, you know, we got a content patch, and I'm like, alright, and then I'll sit there and read through it and what exactly changed, because it does help. Yeah, so, I mean, 10-minute videos, the globals, the hoffs, you know, they're awesome to see, but it's tough, especially nowadays. especially mining, is really tough to snag a global. I've been having one hell of a time to get a global. I mean, a half has been ridiculous lately. And so I guess that's a good transition to what I want to talk about right now as far as mining goes. Let me just take a sip of water here. And there's some more star right there. We had some Wenrix before I was talking about. Yeah, so Wenrix, good. Decent hit rate tonight. So last couple nights, or not last couple nights, but last 2 weeks have been absolutely terrible for me. Mining Calypso. And I haven't had the urge to log in as much, and to basically play around as much for mining, you know. I mean, I could always change it up and go hunting, but it's not necessarily my thing. I don't have, 3-4 hours to hunt like I used to, because really I would do runs that would last 3-4 hours, and I think that's kind of what you have to do for hunting, at least. At least with mining, I could hop in, I could drop an amp or two, and if it's good, then I'll stick around, and if it's bad, then I'll boogie out for 20-25 minutes, come back, try another area. So the mining right now for me is almost boring in a way, and I hate to say that because I really do love Entropia, guys. I mean, obviously, I can't stress it enough that I'm really for MindArk and their vision in creating the Entropia universe. If I wasn't, then I would not be continuing to do these videos. But, when stuff has to be said, it has to be said, and I'd be really remiss not to talk about some of the darker sides of Entropia and bring it to everybody's attention. But, I think everybody's aware right now that there had been some sort of mining changes going on in Entropia that, some people like the aspect that they are going to get a certain amount back, and then some people like to gamble. And I'm one of those people that I've said it like many times before, I would love to see big hoffs for the hoff board every day, and I think they could do it. There's no reason that there shouldn't be like a 15k or a 10k on each one of the leaderboards every day. Obviously we're not getting that. We're not getting that at all. It's been really, really bad, especially the last 2 or 3 days, where our number one hoffs haven't even exceeded 1k. That's almost frightening in a way, because a lot of people would put in a K a day. I know players that would put in $100 a day. $20 a day when you're dropping amps is nothing. That's 20 minutes. That's 20 minutes of your playtime. So if you don't have a chance to hit a big hoff or global to cover your losses, or even have that thought that you're going to hit something big, I think it really takes something out of the game. I think there's really something missing then. I know for me there is. And of course, this is obviously my opinion, but I think I'm speaking for a lot of people in general when I say this. Like, we miss those big hoffs. You may not miss the losses that you have incurred, before the changes to mining, but you do miss those big hoffs. So, is it easier to, say, break even now? Absolutely. I have no problem breaking even now on the planet side. Now, going up to FOMA, messing around in hell, I think it's tougher. I really do. I don't see any sort of how do I say it? I don't see any sort of way to get back if you're losing really bad in FOMA or hell. I think once you start losing pretty bad in FOMA or hell, you're lost. Like, you're gonna lose, and you're gonna lose it all, because the complete rareness of attaining a hoff these days, it's so rare. It's rarer than it was before. And just to bring everybody up to speed, I played 6 years. The majority of that, I did a lot of hunting, and I did well with that. But I've done a ton of mining. in those 6 years, I've only towered twice. So to get a tower was before the mining change is extremely rare. But now it's just, I don't even know. It's crazy rare. It's a fraction of what it was, and it was a fraction. So yeah. But you know, not everything in Entropia universe is at a complete standstill. And you know, MindArk is trying. Actually, let me stop right there. Let me go back to the mining point, because I just want to close it out. Because I'm not going to say anything more about this probably in the future videos, because I like to keep the videos upbeat and happy, and you know, all that happy horse shit. To be honest with you guys, but you already know that. So fucking angelic grit, damn, doing so well too. So hopefully, I don't know if something will change. I know right now my attention has kind of been towards other games at the moment. Although I do log in Entropia every single day, and I'm usually in for an hour or two. But, you know, I had been a player that was in for 6 to 8 hours a day, and I wouldn't really necessarily play anything else. I just, you know, for me to get a D class or level 5, let's say D class, because I'm really familiar with them. Well, not that I'm not with level 5s, but for me to drop a D class plan aside only to get amples is really disheartening, and I hope they shake it up a little bit. I really do. At least bring back some of the really big hoffs and the nice globals, because seeing the same names on the hoff board with the same 450 ped hoff, you know, being forced by level 13s isn't all that exciting, and it's not very encouraging as well. So well, that being said, you know, I offered my opinion and I offered ways to fix it. You know, I'm not necessarily complaining. I just am a little disappointed that it's not kind of what it had been. You know, I'm probably just gonna stick with plan aside right now because it's super safe and it's fairly easy to do well on. Without, you know, major hoffs or good sized globals, as we're actually seeing with this run, because this is probably going to be at least a break-even run, if not profitable. But we did really good up there. So so you know, so to get to the point that I was about to make, and you know, MindArk is trying new things. The robot event is going on right now. They put in some super freaking badass looking robots. Really cool. The 10 event, we started seeing some discoveries dropped. Nothing from mining just yet, but you know, it's not over yet. And yeah, you know, you could tell that they're trying to, you know, they released their YouTube channel. I think they're trying to get in touch with the community a little bit more. We'll see. And obviously the ads are a good move. I've spent quite a bit of time in the Calypso Gateway lately. Actually, I spent almost this entire last week going in and out of Calypso Gateway. There's a lot of new players coming in this game. Obviously it depends on the time of day, but just going through there, I've been trying to help out new players and whatnot, and yeah, I can't believe how many. You know, it's not uncommon to see 6, 7, 8 people running around with new faces joining in almost all the time. So I think I would like to say that their advertising is working, and of course now the release of the moon, which I think is not a bad idea. I mean, they have to do it. They have to make money, you know. So. I think it's going to be another FOMA, but you know, if it works out, it works out. What I do like about the moon in general is that they're trying to make it more of an affiliate sort of program, where the owner of the moon, the customers that he brings into the game, he's going to get a fraction of their PED. Yeah, I'm assuming out of MindArk's pocket. Because that player wouldn't put up with losing 35% or whatever fraction, you know, the the guy would get, whoever's going to own the moon. Hopefully it's someone we know and love, but I'm sure whoever gets it will do a good job. I mean, a huge investment like that, you better do a good job. So, so getting back to that point, I do like how they're trying out the new affiliate program type of thing, and hopefully they'll enact it with everybody. So, you know, MindArk is trying new things. They're giving us new content all the time, so I have to applaud them for doing that, keeping the game interesting and moving. I do remember back in 2006, 2008, there wasn't a whole hell of a lot going on. But now it's just like all the time, and the planet partners are really involved, and, you know, well, let's just go back. We're going to tally this up, see how we did. I'm done. I'm done with my rant. So, yeah, we'll see how we did. That was a decent run. I could tell right now. You know, the cost of an amp is about 141 for a level 7. And then, what is it, about 40 peds, so 181, 184, 184 out of pocket, let's say. I'm probably a little off on that, but I don't have any of my calculators open right now, but who's that? It's always a new Ava. Alright, let's tally it up. What did I say, 184 or something like that? Oh, nice. Plus markup. We profited, guys. It was a great run. Yeah, hopefully Arcadia will treat me good. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for sitting by for the last 20 minutes, and I'll see you in the next vid.